Karl-Anthony Towns, he had the worst start of his Knicks career so far. And me and Chris were talking about this yesterday. I don't even think Cat knows what he's doing in this offense. During the preseason pressers, they're asking about his role, and he said, I don't know. And it seems like he still doesn't know. If he doesn't shoot the ball well, he's not going to have a good game. It seems like that once I said earlier that this is going to be just a shooting team, that we're just going to try and shoot as much threes as we can and just try and hope and make them. We need Cat to do both. He doesn't look comfortable in this offense at all. It seems like he doesn't even know where to go on the court. He still doesn't look healthy either.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the FTB podcast. I am your host, Chris Ngulik, alongside my co-host, Dom Savino. We will be discussing the week that was. Hey, Woody Johnson, congrats. Clap it up. The New York Jets have won a football game, but you're still an idiot, though. While the Giants got served devastation and defeat on Sunday. The Mets and Yankees stay quiet during the World Series, while the Knicks look good. Not great. We will assess their start to the season in a little bit, but first, Dom, how was your weekend? I know we're recording on a Wednesday, not a Tuesday. Unfortunately, Dom's Wi-Fi was down, not working. Stuff happens, is what it is. Weather's a little better today. I don't think it's that windy, Dom. How is it over there by you?
Nah, it's all good. It's all good today. Yesterday was bad, though. All the wires and everything shaking in front of my house. And yeah, it was just the internet was going in and out, and it was getting really annoying. We were like, I don't know, we were like 10, 15 minutes in yesterday when we tried to record. Yeah, then just completely went blank after that.
Yeah.
But the weekend was good, though. You know, we had a little Halloween party at my job, and you were there, and it was a good time. But I don't think we got out of there till like 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Then I had work the next day, and it was brutal, absolutely brutal.
Yeah.
But hey, that's the fun of it, though.
Yeah. No, it was fun. It was a good Saturday. Me and you both agreed that last year's party was a bit better, but it was still a good time. It was nice to see everybody. Yeah. I think started at around 10, and I think it literally ended at about like 4 a.m., 4:30.
I don't even remember. Can't tell you. Can't
I had
tell
a
you.
long day. I had to do some work related stuff up until pretty late, up until about like 5, 6 o'clock. Go to Port Washington, see my friend Sam. He graduated from the police academy. Stay there with him for a few hours, then drive down to Rockaway Park where Dom is, and take an Uber from his house to the party. But it was a great eventful Saturday night, and it was good. Sunday, literally passed out on my cousin's couch a few times. I was so tired, but it was good. Jets finally won a game, miraculous. Giants lost, but it's even worse than that. And that brings me to my transition of going into the NFL to start. Giants lose 38-20 to the Eagles. But as I just said, this wasn't even the worst part of it, and the Giants fans on Sunday. Cam Skattebo had one of the worst ankle injuries I think I had ever seen in my 26 years of watching sports. And he is out for the season. Dom has obviously the full information on his full injury report. But I feel terrible for this kid. Jackson Dart, along with so many others, immediately knew it. Once they saw the result, knew it was bad. And I don't know, Dom, I hadn't seen an injury that bad in a long time. I think you said Kevin Ware the other day in basketball, college basketball. It was almost that bad.
Yeah, obviously no. You're able to basically see his bone. You're basically able to see his ankle because his foot went completely sideways. It was absolutely brutal. And when I first saw him like go down, I didn't think it was his leg. Like he was holding his head, and I thought maybe like he got a concussion or something. But he was just in shock of like when he saw his ankle, because like I'm sure it didn't really hurt him until he saw it. Like when you see like your injury and you're like, oh my God, like that's when he probably just couldn't believe what just happened. And I'm sure like his life flashed before his eyes. And yeah, I feel so bad for him. And so many people like, on the Twitterverse and everyone that's a big football fan was a fan of Cam Skattebo, no matter what team that they rooted for, just because he was a hard nosed, like old fashioned running back. Like trying to take people's heads off and just being aggressive every single play that he was in. So if you're a football fan, I'm sure that you were a fan of this kid in Cam Skattebo because he was just electric to watch every day. Even if it was just like him trying to block for Jackson Dart, like he's trying to lay people out, and it was a really fun few games that we get to watch him play. But apparently, after his surgeries, that it was a dislocated ankle, a deltoid ligament rupture, and a fibula fracture. And after all that, he had a successful surgery that day, and they say he'll be ready for the start of next season. But obviously, with all these little procedures that he just had, you don't know how he's going to be. You don't know how he's going to be the start of next year, the start of training camp. Is it going to take him a whole year to recover? Is it going to take him a year and a half? We don't know. And the good thing is that he's still young, so that's the positive side. But it just sucked because we just don't know. We knew a little bit about our future and Cam Skattebo and Jackson Dart, and we're like, all right, like we're gonna have a bright future. We're gonna be set for the next, hopefully 10, 15 years. But now with this injury, we don't know how he's gonna do when he comes back. So that sort of messes things up in our future. But hey, we'll see how it goes. But when it comes to the game itself, now we just have no weapons. We have zero weapons now. All we have is really Tyrone Tracy and Wan'Dale Robinson and Darius Slayton. And any person would know who is a Giants fan or even a football fan just watching them, that's not good enough at all. We need way more. We need more receivers. We do have 2 running backs, but maybe another running back as well. It seems like our defense is just not there when it comes to our linebackers. Bobby Okereke has been awful this season. And it seems like if we don't get to the quarterback, we're not doing anything. And even if we do get to the quarterback, these teams are just passing quick slants and just trying to get the ball out as soon as we can. And the middle of the field is wide open every single time. And that's what happened. Dallas Goedert had 2 touchdowns on us. And I feel like I've been saying that for years, that every single tight end that we go up against is destroying us because the middle of the field is left wide open. Like, this isn't new. This isn't something that happened just this year and last year. This has been going on for, I feel like, 5, 6 years, even before Daboll. And I don't get it why. I really don't understand why. And I was like reading through Instagram and Twitter and everything earlier today. And with this game, that it was so one-sided that so many analysts and even fans from other teams, even Eagles fans, were saying, I'm an Eagles fan, but this is the most one-sided game I have ever seen in my life. According to Ref Gen, they missed 11 calls yesterday, and 8 of them went against the Giants. And those calls, number one, the one that everyone's talking about is the tush push. If you didn't watch this game, what happened with the tush push, it was a 4th and 1. Jalen Hurts, being carried by his offensive linemen and his running backs and fullbacks behind him. They're pushing him. They're pushing him forward, trying to get the first down. He gets over the line, but he's still going forward. So the play should not be dead. Kayvon Thibodeau grabs the ball from him. Completely grabs the ball from him. His knees were not down. He was still up, still going. The ball hit the floor, then Kayvon grabbed it. And then once the ball hit the floor, the refs whistled. Why?
That's wild.
Everyone from that play, everyone thinks that the Eagles are paying them off or something. Like, that's just how ridiculous it was.
No, you just have to get rid of the tush push. That's really what
That
it is. I mean, there's
that's
so
what
many people that are asking for this thing to get abolished. I mean, it's getting ridiculous, pathetic, whatever you want to call it. I mean, it's insane. It's the amount of times that you watch this play get run and then you can't see anything. So they're like, he may be short. How the hell could you see it? It's not even visible. Everyone's on top of each other. And then what? You can call it for 4 straight downs? Dude, Roger Goodell's got to get rid of it.
after that play, it seems like everyone is waking up because, every single analyst and journalist are saying, what did I just watch? Every single analyst and journalist knew that was a fumble, and they were shocked. It didn't make sense to anybody. It's not just a bias thing where the Giants are like, oh, this is bullshit. Like Giants fans, it's just them. It's literally the whole league saw it and was like, wow, like I can't believe that just happened. So that's number one. Now, because of that, and like with the refs' excuses of them not seeing, do your job better. How about that? Do your job better or get rid of it. This has to be the last year of this BS.
No, get rid of it. They're not gonna do the job better, Dom. They gotta get rid of it.
They have to. They have to get rid of it. So that's number one. And there's other calls that were just absurd. Darius Slayton, he had I think it was like a 60-something yard touchdown, and they were calling offensive pass interference. Meanwhile, they were hand checking each other the whole time. It wasn't just like Darius Slayton pushing off. You had the cornerback holding him, trying to grab his jersey. Like Darius Slayton just like literally pushed his hands away a little bit, and they called the offensive pass interference, which took away a touchdown. So we lost 38-20, and right there, that could have been 14 points that we had. With the turnover from the tush push, and if we could have scored, and a touchdown from Darius Slayton, then it's just a 4-point game. And then on a 3rd and 11 call, Corey Black gets held, and he gets called for a pass interference as a cornerback. That's another call. And then Wan'Dale Robinson gets a call for a block in the back. Meanwhile, he barely even touched him. So you can only do so much as a team. If the refs aren't helping you out like a little bit, and it's just a one-sided game, how are you going to win that game? Was I expected to win that game after Cam Skattebo? No. I thought we had a chance. But before the game even started, I'm like, Saquon did nothing 2 weeks ago. Now he's about to have a great game. And then he just took a ball to the house, like immediately. I knew it was going to be a tough game. I didn't think we were going to win in general, but I knew it was going to be close. But how can it be a close game when 14 points were taken off the board? Possibly 21 points.
Yeah.
So you can't have it. You can't have it. And yeah, I mean, everything went wrong that day. When it came to our play, when it came to injuries, when it comes to the refs, when it comes to our defense, everything completely went wrong. And then which leads me to my next point of people are saying on Twitter and analysts, oh, what's the point of trying to get more weapons for a 2-6 team? The season isn't over. The season's not over at all. And we need to have a little bit of more of a blueprint now for our future. If we get a good weapon on this team and he does good, other players are going to want to come here because of Cam Skattebo coming back, Neighbors coming back, year 2 Jackson Dart. Our offensive line seems way better than it was last year. I mean, is it amazing? No. But it's way better over the past few years. So we gotta build a foundation. And with Cam Skattebo out, it hurts a lot.
So the one thing I want to say, I don't want to be that guy, but I'm gonna be honest. I think as Giants fans, just for your mental psyche, I don't think you should expect Cam Skattebo to come back and be the guy that he was this year, next year.
100%. No.
Yeah.
No way.
Well, some people are delusional, Dom, as you know, for both Jets and Giants and really any New York sports. It's hard to say to yourself, oh, I can't expect a lot from a player that I really like, from a player that really built up this culture with the Giants. The Brees Hall thing. I mean, when he ruptured his ACL against the Denver Broncos, forgot what week it was, but it was maybe 7, 8 games into the season. I literally think it was actually I think it was right after that Green Bay game where they went 5-2. Yeah, I think it was like week 8 or something in 2022. And everyone's like, he won't be the same guy 2023. He did look slow. He, wasn't in, like Dom always mentions, football shape. And then 2024 looked a little better. And now this year, especially, I'm going to talk about Sunday's game in a bit after Dom is finished, but finally this year, and especially this past Sunday, he looked like the 2022 version of Brees. And I've said it, a couple of times, even through the losses that the Jets have had. But I'm just putting it out there, Dom. I don't know if Cam Skattebo is going to be what he was this year prior to his big injury.
I mean, I don't think so either. But yeah, like obviously, like a running back can, you know, can run, and a running back can also catch balls out the backfield. But another thing is, he was one of the reasons why our offensive line has been doing good, or
Hmm.
at least better, because he can block, and he's not
Yeah.
afraid to try and lay somebody out of like just for a block.
Yes.
Um, that's something that was really underrated about his game that people just didn't want to talk about because of how electric he is when he has the ball in his hands. But if you see videos of him blocking, he's ruthless.
Hmm.
Even if these dudes are way bigger than him, he don't care.
No.
He,
No,
he
he
don't
did
care
not.
one bit.
No.
So like he was a big reason why our offensive line was doing good too. And now we have Tyrone Tracy and Devin Singletary, and they are not blocking running backs
No.
at all. So
Look at their Dom. Look at their build. Their build isn't even the same as Cam Skattebo. So what can you
yeah,
really expect from those guys?
exactly.
Yeah.
So I expect our offensive line to be worse than what it is.
Hmm.
And I mean Tyrone Tracy is a good running back, but I don't know. I just can't really see him putting up numbers like Cam Skattebo did, even though he did good last year. But it seems like with him being the backup to Cam when he was playing, that it really took away his confidence. So let's see with Cam out, maybe he'll go back to how he was last year. But I mean, we don't know.
Hmm. Yeah. All right. So is that it for you for the Giants before I get into the Jets, or is there anything else you
Well,
want to say?
I'll say it again though that we need to get weapons. Do not listen to these people who are saying that what's the point? No, we need it. We need it for a foundation, even if it's just a rental for the rest of the year. If we can prove to other players that we have a good weapon and with a good quarterback and that we have another star receiver coming back next year, they're going to want to be in that offense. So we
Hmm.
need to get a weapon before this trade deadline.
I agree. Yeah. I think it's still worth making a trade. Season is almost at the halfway mark, but I think the Giants have a bright future and enough talent for it to be worth the trade. All
Absolutely.
right. Well, Jets won a game, so that's nice. They beat the Bengals 39-38 in Cincinnati, ending their losing streak and improving to 1-7. Aaron Glenn gets his first win as the Jets head coach. So I'm sure that's a huge monkey off his back. The Bengals defense held a players only meeting after the meltdown versus Justin Fields and the Jets. Yeah, I would too. I would also hold the players only meeting if I just lost to the 0-7 Jets. Absolutely. Even though the Bengals, even before this game, their defense is ranked at the way bottom half of the NFL. Still when you perform like that against an 0-7 team, I would definitely hold the players only meeting. Justin Fields, 21 for 32 passing, 244 yards, one touchdown, no interceptions, a 67.0 QBR, and a 99 passer rating, 31 rushing yards. Brees Hall threw a 4-yard passing touchdown to Mason Taylor, 18 carries for 133 yards, two TDs, finally got in the end zone for the season. Before this game, he had no touchdowns, which is just absurd to me, especially with this very good offensive line. He had a 35-yard run. That was his longest. Isaiah Davis had a 50-yard run. Thought possibly he would bring it to the house, but he came up a bit short. He got tackled. Seven carries for 65 yards. Tyler Johnson, 3 receptions on 5 targets for 64 yards. One touchdown. Longest reception was 34 yards. Mason Taylor, 5 receptions on 8 targets for 34 yards. The one TD from Brees, of course. Longest reception for Mason Taylor was 15 yards. Isaiah Davis, 5 receptions on 5 targets for 44 yards. Longest reception was for 26. The defense, really just one thing. It was Will McDonald. He had 3 total tackles, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss, 1 QB hit. Good to see the Jets win a game since they were at the precipice of 0-17. Let's be real. With Brees Hall's 2 TD game and a win, does this possibly end the trade talks? I say it does not. This could still have been Brees Hall's last game in a Jets uniform. It's funny, Dom. I was reading text messages when I was coming home from work, and Billy wrote that his buddy was talking about possibly Brees Hall to the Chiefs. I got to tell you, that would piss my ass off.
For who?
I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure. But I gotta tell you, that would really chap my ass if Brees Hall got traded to the Kansas City Chiefs. I pray to the good Lord that does not happen. And if it does, I guess you heard it here first. I don't know. But that would be a real kick in the nuts if that actually happened. Um, they have a bye week next week, which is this upcoming Sunday, of course. So let's see what happens for the rest of the week, and next week before Week 10's game against the Browns at home. But I kind of expect Brees Hall to be traded. I don't see him playing for the Jets against the Browns. I mentioned this to Dom before we started the episode this evening. The blasphemy and the balls, Woody Johnson. You heard me congratulate the guy, but I called him an idiot after. And this is really one of the many reasons why, but this was, you want to talk about chaps my ass. I'm not even a season ticket holder. The Jets raised season ticket prices for next season. There is a Twitter account. His name is NYJ Matt. Said his season ticket prices have increased 11.09% from this year to next year. A fan called into WFAN today for Evan and Tiki and said that his season ticket prices have increased every year for the last 4 years from $170 a game to $265. For
That
what?
man balls. He got balls, man.
For what? What are we increasing the season ticket prices for?
For losses. Duh.
Yeah, for losses. Just to pad his pockets. Doesn't know what the fuck he's saying in a press conference ever. Says, well, it's hard to win when your quarterback doesn't complete a pass. Dude, you partially signed him. You brought him here. So you're the idiot then. You hired Darren Muji and Aaron Glenn. So who's the idiot? You are. And you're raising season ticket prices for what? Dom talks about it all the time. The stadium looks like shit. It looks like an air conditioner outside. I mean, it's an awful design. The food sucks. I gotta be honest. The food is shit. It is not good at
It's
all.
awful. It's awful.
Dom, do you remember the game? Remember 2022? I came home from graduating for grad school, and we went to the Thursday night game, Jets Jaguars. It was me, you, Marco, and
Yep.
some of my other town friends. I went to go get a cookie. It was a fucking brick. I was eating a brick off the street. The guy goes, I don't know how to work the register. I go, you work here. But hold on. Let me raise season ticket prices.
It was a hockey puck.
It was that's exactly right. It was a goddamn hockey puck. Blasphemy. And as you said, the balls on that man.
I think that was the worst game that I've ever been to.
Oh, it was terrible. Dude, we got lost.
It was raining. It was Jets, Jaguars. Just an awful game. And then the Jets were also just getting killed too. Like, ugh. It's cold.
Terrible. We paid $80. Actually, no, I think how much did we pay, Dom?
No, I don't remember.
I think we only paid maybe $80 because the Jets were not good at that point in time. Past the Zach Wilson season with the young rookies and, who was the other guy that was Mike White? He was the quarterback for a while after that. when they were 7-4. This was like a December 22nd, 23rd game. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. But the Bulls on Woody Johnson. But with all that said, last thing I'll say, and it's pretty sentimental and upsetting. Rest in peace, Nick Mangold. This win was for him. Just devastating. When I read this, I couldn't believe it. Again, my town friend Billy sent it in our Jets chat, and I couldn't believe what I was reading. 41 years old. He was the reason why he was honestly, for me personally, he was the reason why I had hope for the Jets after their back-to-back AFC Championship game appearances, that maybe they could do it again and maybe at least get to the Super Bowl. I don't know about win it, but at least get there. He got drafted in, I believe, 2005. Could have been '05 or '06, but he was a first round pick. That year they took the Brickashaw Ferguson, and then the towards the end of the first round, they took Nick Mangold, 2006, first round, 29th overall, and just has 4 kids. Just, I mean, I had, of course, never got a chance to meet him. Frankly, wish I did. But from everyone that I was, hearing about the guy, an absolute gentleman, a sweetheart of a man, a great father, great husband. Feel absolutely terrible for his family, and this is. I honestly had no words for about 10 minutes. I didn't even know what I was reading. It was so shocking. He did put out there at the beginning of the month that he needed a kidney transplant. He had kidney disease, very rare form of it. And it got detected right when he started playing in the NFL, frankly. But he played 10 years from '06 to 2016. And it was just shocking. And I was listening to the Jets post game, pre and post game, but more the Jets pregame. And Willie Colon just couldn't hold it in. He couldn't even speak. Steve Gelbs went to Willie Colon first. That wasn't possible. He couldn't even say anything. They went to Bart Scott instead to say a few words first, and Willie Colon couldn't do it. Bart Scott just looked completely deflated. Rex Ryan on the NFL Countdown on ESPN pregame couldn't speak either. Man was just practically weeping in tears. This man had a serious effect, and there was one thing that I remember Rex Ryan said, Dom, in the pregame. This was towards the end of Rex Ryan's tenure, who, I got to be honest, at this point, I'll take him back to coach. Uh, he said that Nick Mangold knew that Rex Ryan was going to be fired and he was going to get let go. And Nick Mangold was seriously banged up. And Nick Mangold said, nah, fuck that. I'm playing for you. And he suited up and he played for Rex Ryan's last game. I mean, if you can't have full blown respect for a man like that, you got a serious problem. And he's just a fantastic guy. And that win, that was Nick Mangold's spirits that they pulled out that win in Cincinnati. But very, very, very upsetting that he passed away at the age of 41 due to a rare form of kid disease. It was shocking to everybody.
Rest in peace. I heard that he was like the last 2 or 3 weeks he was like traveling like across the country to find a kidney. I don't know how true that is, but that's what I read. And man, that's just so sad. The fact that he couldn't find nothing.
Yeah, and a lot, Sal Licata and Brandon Tierney on WFAN, they thought, hey, it could be possible. He'll be all right. But you know what? You can't take time like that for granted. You
Nope.
know, supposedly there was a long list because kidney transplants aren't common and they're not easy to come by. So supposedly he was on a long wait list, Tom. I'm talking about years, not months or weeks, years. So he would have had to been battling for quite a while. But listen, I believe he's in a better place now, not hurt or dealing with serious pain. So just wanted to finish the NFL segment on that note, and rest in peace to Nick Mangold. He was next to Kevin Mawai. He was probably, I still think he is the best center the Jets ever had. And he had his Ring of Honor ceremony during the 2022 season, and rest in peace to him. Nobody, I don't think anyone will be as good and definitely not better than Nick Mangold. So sorry for the listeners and the viewers. I had to end it on a little bit of a more of a sadder note, but it was very, very necessary. So now that's the NFL. Moving on to the NBA. So since we didn't record yesterday, we're including last night's game. So the Knicks, there you go. Well, I have a Jets. I actually have Darrell Rivas and Joe Klecko Ring of Honor ceremony T-shirt from 2023 season on. But maybe I should have put on my JB jersey or something. But the Knicks go 2-2 on the week. First game, they beat the Cleveland Cavaliers 119-111 at MSG. OG led all scorers with 24 points. He shot 9 of 17 field goals, 4 of 9 behind the 3-point line, 14 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, 1 block. Had 4 turnovers, but it did really hurt them that much. A plus 10 on the court, so he had a fantastic game. Cat, who we're going to speak a little bit more of a little bit down this segment, 5 of 12 shooting, 1 of 4 behind the arc, 11 rebounds, 2 assists, had 3 turnovers. Not too bad, 19 points. Jalen Brunson, 5 of 18 shooting, not great. 1 of 9 behind the arc, so not his best shooting performance in this one. 4 rebounds, 5 assists, only 2 turnovers, 23 points. A plus 6 on the court. Mikal Bridges, 6 of 11 shooting, 1 of 3 behind the arc, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks, 16 points. Miles McBride, 4 of 7 field goal shooting, 4 of 6 behind the arc, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, plus 17 on the court, 15 points. The Knicks team stats for this game: 37 of 86 shooting, 43%, 14 of 40 from 3, 35%, 31 of 36 from the line, 86.1% free throw shooting, 48 rebounds to the Cavs 32, and 42 points in the paint to the Cavs 30. Largest lead for the Knicks was 17. So again, Knicks beat the Cavs 119-111 at home. Then they beat the Celtics to improve to 2-0. They won 105-95. Jalen Brunson led all scorers with 31 points. 10 of 20 field goal shooting, so 50%. 3 of 7 behind the arc. 3 rebounds, 5 assists, plus 7 on the court. Cat, 6 of 16 shooting, not his best. 4 of 6 behind the arc, though. That was good. 13 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 5 turnovers, but still plus 6 on the court, 26 points. Mikal Bridges, 5 of 10 shooting, 50%. 2 of 4 behind the arc, 50%. 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, plus 15 on the court, 12 points. OG Anunoby, plus 10 on the court with 10 points and 2 steals, so that's positive. Knicks team stats: 33 of 86, 38.4% shooting, not their best. 17 of 45 behind the 3-point line, 37.8% shooting, not bad. 22 of 25 free throw shooting, 88%. 53 rebounds to the Celtics, 37, so they killed it on the glass. 15 fast break points to the Celtics, 2. Knicks had 20 turnovers, but they got back on defense. Celtics had 25 fouls. Knicks' largest lead in this game was 24. Then their first loss of the season to the Miami Heat, which Dom predicted last week. 115-107. Jalen Brunson, 14 of 26 shooting. He was really the only good shooter in this game. 5 of 11 behind the arc, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals, 3 turnovers, plus 6 on the court, 37 points. Mikal Bridges, okay, he was the other good shooter in this game. 7 of 11 shooting, 3 of 5 behind the arc, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 20 points. So JB and Mikal Bridges were the 2 best shooters, with Jalen Brunson being the absolute best one in this game. Knicks team stats, just ugly. 38 of 98, 38.8% shooting. 3-point shooting was 15 of 54, tied for most in team history for a game. 27.8% from 3, not good at all. Knicks gave up 31 fast break points to the Heat. Knicks had 24 fouls to the Heat 16. And Heat at one point in this game led by 18. So Dom, you're now going to read off the stats and info for the Knicks-Bucks game last night.
There's a whole lot to say about this game, particularly because I felt like with the Heat game, it was just no defense anywhere, not even from the Knicks, not from the Heat. It was just an offensive shootout. That's what it seemed like.
Yep.
So it was just a bad, like, overall game to really analyze. But with this game, there was a whole lot more than just shooting and bad defense, because there's a whole lot to go here. So they lost to the Bucks, 111-121. They were 32.5% from three, 42.4% from the field, and both teams had 13 turnovers. And also, we lost the fast break point battle again to 21-9,
Hmm.
which we did lose to with the Heat and the Cavs.
Hmm.
So we're supposed to be a fast break team, a faster paced team. But my question is, do we have the personnel for that? It seems like that, we're still a little stagnant. We see flashes of this. We see flashes of a fast moving offense, moving the ball back and forth without a lot of just stagnant movement. I feel like that's what happened in the first half of this game. And then once the third quarter came, everyone was just standing there trying to be like shooting more ISO ball and shooting more threes. And that's what even Mike Brown said. Mike Brown said that offense would stagnate in the third quarter, which impacted the defense, which allowed Giannis to dominate in the second half. Said players have more to move the ball instead of standing around and watching. So it seems like we're still getting a little bit more of that Tibbs effect from last year that they really haven't snapped out of it yet, but it does take time. It does take time, and it's only game 4. Going to be game 5 with the next game. So I know there's a lot going on with this team when it comes to injuries. We have Yabusele out with a knee injury. We have Deuce, Miles McBride with personal reasons being out for 2 games, and obviously Mitch with the load management. Just what I'm seeing from these 4 games, that we're going to need everybody to be healthy in order to be a successful team. That's what I see. Because it seems like if one person's out, that's a key player that we need on this team. So
Right.
that's one thing. Karl-Anthony Towns, he had the worst start of his Knicks career so far. He went 2 of 12 from the field and 0 for 3 from 3 with only 8 points. And me and Chris were talking about this yesterday and even the other day, about a few days ago. I don't even think Cat knows what he's doing in this offense. And during the preseason pressers, they're asking about his role, and he said, I don't know. And it seems like he still doesn't know. And then also with Cat, if he doesn't shoot the ball well, he's not going to have a good game. That's number one. Number two, it seems like that once I said earlier that this is going to be just a shooting team, that we're just going to try and shoot as much threes as we can and just try and hope and make them. We need Cat to do both. We can't have Cat. He's probably one of the reasons why the offense is so stagnant, because he's probably just standing there behind the 3-point line. We need him to play bully ball, even though that he can't even post up Kyle Kuzma, but he has to try. that was just pathetic to watch. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Just reminded me of him going against DeMarcus Cousins all those years ago. But you can't even post up Kyle Kuzma. Like, that's just pathetic. I think I could post up Kyle Kuzma, with all honesty. It's so bad. What that play, it was disgusting to watch. He doesn't look comfortable in this offense at all. It seems like he doesn't even know where to go on the court. And also, he still doesn't look healthy either. And it's the beginning of the season, and he had this problem since game 1. Well, since the preseason, with a quad strain. If he's not healthy, don't play him. I know we have a lot of injuries right now, but we can't risk a more like difficult injury. We can't do it. Just by the way he runs, by the way he's trying to get rebounds, it looks like he's not even jumping as high as he usually does. Him just trying to post up in the paint, he doesn't look right. And we need him to get in the paint. That's how we can separate this offense. This is how we can create separation. If he's just standing there, it's just going to ruin the whole flow of the offense. So I don't know if this is mostly just him being hurt or him being confused or both, but something needs to change. And if we have to sit him, because I don't want anything worse to happen, especially it only being 4 games into the season. And we are, like I said before, we're going to need everybody for this team to be successful. But it wasn't just him that played bad. It was OG, played awful. 3 of 11 from the field, 1 of 6 from 3. And I mean, I know this is a tall task, no pun intended, but Giannis, you're going up Giannis. You give him up 40 points to him. Is it really hard? Is it like one of the hardest jobs to do to defend Giannis? Yeah. But you're also OG Anunoby, who's one of the best defensive players in the world. So we need a little more from you. The only bright spot, well, two bright spots actually, were Shamit, who had 16 points, 4-9 from three. And then obviously Jalen Brunson. I mean, he does what he does. He had 36 points, even though he was only 1 of 5 from three, but he was 14 of 25 from the field. So people are gonna have their days, people are not gonna have their days. But what I'm so concerned about is, which I'm sure Chris is too, with this system. It seems like with this system, we don't have the right personnel for this system that Mike Brown is running. And from what we thought before the season started, was Cat was going to be even more involved in this offense. And it seems like they're pushing him out. You know, like with the pace looking slow, only flashes of fast movement. Josh Hart, playing his ball, but he's not playing good either. I don't know if he's still hurt. He only had 3 points, 1 of 5 from the floor. I don't think he's healthy enough either, especially with his back. So I don't think that's right. But going back to the system, we have Jordan Clarkson on the team. He's going in to sub in for Jalen Brunson as a backup point guard. Since when was this dude a point guard? He never was.
I have no idea. It's a great
He,
question.
he was never a point guard. And we have one. Well, we have two of them, actually, if you think about it, with Deuce, but he's out. But then we have Tyler Kolek.
Deuce is not a point guard, Dom.
But the thing is, he's not a point guard, but like, he can run the offense.
Sure, but he's more of a shooting guard. We talked about this. You remember?
He's definitely more of a shooting guard.
Yeah,
but if you want to put him in there,
about this a few weeks ago.
If you want to put him in there for Jalen Brunson, you can. You definitely could. But obviously he's hurt, so he wasn't going to play in the game. But Tyler Kolek, why are you wasting minutes from this kid? For Jordan Clarkson, who's just going to play iso ball and just try and get a bucket. If we had him last year with Tom Thibodeau's offense, he'd be a perfect fit for us. Mm-hmm. But we're losing fast break point battles again. We lost 21-9 with this battle against the Bucks, and we also lost points in the paint, 50-42.
Yeah.
So we're losing every single battle here.
Yeah.
And we have a player in Jalen Brunson who's not that fast. We have Cat who's not fast and he's hurt. OG Anunoby, he got hurt during the preseason, but in general he's not that fast either. When Mitch comes back, he's not running down the court, sprinting down the court. I mean, who do we really have that can really run the ball down the floor, like in a fast-paced offense? I mean, you tell me. I don't know who.
Yeah, well, I know. I'm gonna touch on it once you're done.
So, I don't know. Is this a right fit, or is this a right fit as of right now? But I have been big on, this is going to take time. I said this last episode. This is going to take time, but this is just very, very not good signs.
Yeah.
Already in 4 games.
I know.
Maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe I'm not, but I think the system, it could be better. I mean, I'm sure we will get better once the season goes on, like in January, February, March, like that. But how much of a difference is it going to make? That's the thing I don't know.
Yeah, the one thing I'll say before I go on to the list I have here, I understand me and Dom said it first. I can't take full credit. Dom did say, hey, just as a fair warning, they may start out slow. Just be prepared for that. It's a new scheme. It's new for the players, also new for the fans who are watching on TV or live. But as Dom said, concerning is concerning. I mean, that's it. You have to realize we said the first 10, 12 games. Well, we're almost halfway there. I mean, 4 games in, I know it's only 4 games out of 82, but when you watch what we frankly didn't expect to see coming, yeah, your ears start to perk up a bit because you're like, yeah, this is not what we were told was going to be the product on the court. So it's definitely it opens your eyes, put it that way. Opens your eyes, perks up your ears, you know, put your jaw down a little bit to be like, what? This is pretty nuts. But five alarming things for me, and Dom mentioned two or three out of the five already. But number one, Gershon Yabusele does not look like he's in shape, and he is not
No.
shooting well or have any type of rhythm on the court. I don't really know what this man, really has in store for this team. He just isn't looking to get a basket, right? He shoots when he's completely wide open, but he's constantly looking to be the screen guy and a little bit of pick and roll. His role off the bench really needs to improve and become a little bigger. So that's number one. Number two, the Knicks will not go anywhere if the bench does not produce and make plays. So again, Jordan Clarkson, like Dom had mentioned. You could also say Gershon Yabusele as well. Landry Shamet. Miles McBride has been scoring off the bench, but as Dom already mentioned, he's been out the last two games for personal reasons. So if the bench isn't producing, and here we go again, the non-Jalen Brunson minutes, they're so important, then this team is not going to go where they think they're going to be going. Number three, and I need some serious explanation on this one. So, what is Mitchell Robinson's role this year exactly? What is it?
To chill.
Load management for his ankle. What is the management exactly? Because if the guy is not going to play at all, say the first month or two, it's already 4 games, and I'm going to assume, Dom, he's not playing on Friday against the Bulls, which is a cup game, mind you. I don't really know what the Knicks have in store for this man. He doesn't
I
play.
mean,
I mean, what? So you had him play in the preseason to then not have him play in the regular season? Which games count? Oh, that's right. The regular season games do. So if you're not really going to use him, then Dom, what does that tell me? That tells me he's a trade candidate in February. And you can't extend him.
I mean, at this rate, I would want to keep him just for playoffs. That's it. But after that, we're not re-signing him. There's no way.
Dom, yeah, but Dom, even then, like, dude, if you need shooting help, I mean, who are you going to trade aside from Mitchell Robinson? I mean, are you gonna trade Yabusele, who you just signed for 2 years? I mean, yes, he can get traded because he signed the beginning of July, so the 6 months come and go, and you can trade him. But I mean, if Yabusele starts hitting shots and he's producing off the bench, you're not trading him. Same with Jordan Clarkson. I mean, Miles McBride, maybe. Tyler Kolek, maybe. I don't know. But Mitchell Robinson, I mean, that's it. He's just going to be wrapped in bubble wrap, put on ice until the middle of April. I mean, that sounds ridiculous. He's not going to play. So what? I'm going to not have Mitchell Robinson be on the court until like the 2023-24 season when he finally played the end of February, beginning, or what was that? I think it was actually the end of March. And then he finally came back and played in February last year. That's how long again? We're going to go through this process again and not have him play for months and months on end? Dude, it's just ridiculous load management for Mitchell Robinson. Number four, and Dom talked about it for quite a while on his rant. Cat looks lost. And it makes sense why he said in the preseason press conference he does not know what his role is on this team. And I'm just going to say this right now. And Dom said it about his three-point shooting. If he doesn't make his three-point shots, he's not really productive. There are two things I want to see from Karl-Anthony Towns going forward. Number one, do not post up a guy for more than a few seconds because I'm watching you post up for like 5 seconds and immediately you're getting double teamed and then you're lost. You don't know what to do. You start going in a panic mode and you don't know what the hell is going on around you. And you have no awareness on the court when you go into the post up. It's like tunnel vision for this guy. And number two, I said this last year. And Dom, you agreed with me because we said it even when we didn't have the podcast. I only want to see Karl-Anthony Towns driving to the hoop when there is absolutely nobody in the paint. When this guy drives to the hoop, when there's even one guy, and especially when there's two or even three guys in the paint, it's either a ridiculous shot or it's a turnover, or he thinks he got fouled and he's screaming, foul! Oh, come on! Where's the call? And then I got to sit there and I'm like, oh my God! Dude, I've had it. Don't drive to the hoop if that's going to be every possession. If I got to hear, oh my God, or foul out of your mouth every time when you drive to the hoop, dude, stretch out the floor like you were brought here to do, shoot behind the arc, or post up 2-3 seconds max and turn and give me a fadeaway jump shot. I know you can hit it because you hit a ton of them last year. But unless you're right below the rim trying to get a putback bucket or there's nobody in the paint, I do not want to see you driving to the hoop ever for the rest of the year. And one other thing I'll say, and I'm going to read it. This was Cat's quote from the post game last night. He said, I didn't do what we needed. That's on me. Accountability's big in this locker room. I got a new role. Got to embrace it. Going to be tough 2 days. Game 4. I know everyone's going to be stressing in New York. We're all finding our spots. Teach old dog new tricks. I'm learning new tricks. So listen, Cat's a great guy. He is accountable. He takes a lot on his shoulders. He couldn't have he could have not played in the first game of the season. He strapped it up and he played. I like the guy. I really do. I think he's a fantastic basketball player. Okay? Very respectable guy, takes a ton of accountability. However, there are certain things you have to do and you can't do anymore. And have to do is be in the post for a few seconds and take a shot and shoot behind the arc. And what you can't do is drive to the hoop and hear, oh my God, or foul at the top of your lungs in the mic on the court, or lose the ball, turn over, or throw a wacky shot. Can't see it no more. I've had it. Can't do it. So that's for Cat. And the last thing Dom mentioned, Mike Brown's 3-point scheme. I got to tell you, the only guys right now that can shoot behind the arc are 3 guys. OG Anunoby, Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges. That's it. Everyone else, they're not shooting well. Cat, okay, Landry Shamet shot well, but last night was the only game, Dom. Yabusele, guy needs to lose weight to start, and he looks terrible. He can't shoot at all. Miles McBride, he's been out for personal reasons, but when he played the first 2 games, he was shooting well too. But consistently from game 1 to game 4, it's only 3 guys. Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby.
I mean, OG didn't shoot well last game, but
Okay.
he is a consistent shooter though. He
Yeah.
definitely is a consistent shooter. But yeah, like I said, what the issue was before the preseason, we need more shooting, and it seems like we still need more shooting. But I think the only bright spot that we have seen from this team is Mikal Bridges.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the beginning of the podcast when we started, you were, or even all of last year before the podcast, you were not a fan of Mikal Bridges at all, and you didn't really have that much faith. But
No.
what do you think now? Like,
It's
what do
4
you
games.
think of Mikal Bridges from these 4 games?
I mean, yeah, it's a small sample size, but 4 games, yeah, he looks good. Am I going to sit here and say he's worth the 5 first-round picks? God, no. It's 4 games. So I need to see Dom, do me a favor, okay? Call me and ask me after New Year's.
All right, we'll clip that.
After
We'll
New
clip
Year's
that.
Day, you ask me and you call me. Do whatever you want. Then you
I
can
will.
ask me, okay, what do you think of Mikal Bridges' trade proposal or whatever, trade package, his contract extension this summer that we discussed, only a month into the pod? Okay, then I'll give you an answer. Right now, 4 games, too small of a sample size. Can't give you an answer.
Okay. All right, fair enough. But
Sure.
I'll remember that. You got to clip that one. You got to save it.
No problem. And I'm sure the viewers and the listeners will clip it too. That's no problem at all.
Deal.
Okay.
Because yeah, he's been the only. I mean, besides Jalen Brunson, clearly, because he does what he does, and he's the savior of New York, the Jesus of New York. But with Mikal Bridges, he got off to a really slow start last year, and this year, even though with the new system, he looks way better. Even with all the changes in the offense and everything, he looks way better with offense and defense. Looks more comfortable being on this team. So I'm really happy for that. It seems like the playoffs boosted him up a lot with those great clutch plays that he had last year. And we want we don't even want the Nets Mikal Bridges. We want the Phoenix Mikal Bridges back. That's what
Mhm,
we want. We want the guy on the floor who's just going to wreak havoc on both sides, not just offense. Because it seemed like he lost his defense a little bit when he was at Brooklyn because he was the leading scorer of a terrible team.
right.
Averaging like mid 20s. So, but
Mhm,
he looks way better, and I'm excited to see how he's going to be throughout the rest of the year. And obviously, he's I mean, knock on wood, but he plays basically every single game. So
mhm.
we're gonna need him. We're gonna need every aspect of his game to go to the next level. So let's see.
Yeah. Listen, he's a good player. I'm not taking his talent away, but I'm not surprised that he's the bright spot in this new Mike Brown scheme because Mikal Bridges is fast. He does like to run it. He does like to stop and pop for a three and shoot a lot behind the arc and play strong, gritty defense. So it's not really a surprise to me that he's a bright spot so far in this Mike Brown 3-point scheme, but too small of a sample size, only 4 games. So we'll revisit this question seriously after New Year's Day. So is there anything else you want to say about the Knicks before we move on?
One player that I have thought of when we were talking about trade, if I had to pick somebody, just the first person that came off my head was I can't even tell you where he is right now. I don't know if he's on Memphis or the Clippers right now, but Luke Kennard.
Hmm.
He is the first person I thought of when you said trading Mitch for a shooter that we need shooting. He's the first person I thought of, and he's probably one of the best shooters in the league. I'd give him top 7, top 7 player in the league who can shoot.
He is
Uh,
right now, Dom, he's with the Atlanta Hawks.
the Hawks. Wow, see, way off. Can't even tell you where he is, but
Hmm.
that's the first person I can think of.
Okay. All right.
But
I,
shooting
I
wise,
think
yeah, we're gonna have to look. We're gonna
yeah.
have to do our research and try and see who would be the best shooter for this Knicks team
Right.
because we're not getting another center clearly if we trade Mitch.
No.
We're going for
No.
shooting.
No. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, Huck 40. He's a solid player, but you can't expect too much from the guy. He's an average, maybe slightly below average center. He's a third string center. That's also why, again, I kind of agree with you, Dom, in terms of what Mitchell Robinson is in terms of talent and what he could bring for this team. But he's got to play, dude. I mean, it's unbelievable how every game I'm like, oh yeah, he's out load management for ankle injury. I mean, dude, then either trade him, retire him. I don't know. It's just it's nuts, but that's it for the NBA. Now
Yep.
moving on to the MLB. Dom, do you really have anything to say about the Yankees?
Nothing, because nothing has happened.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the World Series is going on. Uh Blue Jays tied it up last night. That was a good game. That 18 inning game the other night was wild. But World Series is tied 2-2. Dom, is it staying in California or is it going to Toronto now?
I think it's going to Toronto, but I'll double check real quick.
No, it's staying in LA and they're playing
No,
tonight.
and
Yeah.
tonight. Wow,
Yep.
back
Blue
to back to
Jays.
back.
Yep. Well, back to back to back.
Yeah, back to back to back.
Yeah,
We
because
got
that's right. Games 3 to 5 are all in California. Yeah. All right. So Blue Jays Dodgers tonight at 8 p.m. on Fox. That should be good. I'll probably look to watch that since there's not really much else to watch. Knicks are off. Obviously, Jets and Giants. Jets are on a bye. Giants play Sunday. So yeah, I'll probably watch that, see what happens. But yeah, that's really it for the Yankees. Can't do anything until the World Series concludes. But for the Mets, a couple of things have transpired here. So Mets made one move the other day, hired Troy Snitker as new hitting coach, but this is a big problem here. Antoine Richardson, the first base coach for the Mets, is expected to leave. Neither side has agreed to a new contract, and Richardson is expected to leave the organization after 2 seasons, according to Jeff Passan. This is a big blow if he leaves, thanks to his consistent film study of pitchers' moves to first. Mets had players like Juan Soto steal more bases than they ever have before, and he was the best coach, frankly, on this staff last year. I mean, for David Stearns to not try to bring this guy back is serious malpractice once again. And I got to tell you, David Stearns needs to kick off this offseason strong. I mean, he hired a bunch of different guys, right? Kai Correa as the bench coach, who could potentially take over for Carlos Mendoza if Carlos Mendoza has a Willie Randolph 2008 season where he gets let go the middle of June. I think Kai Correa would take over. You bring in this guy, Troy Snicker, but losing Antoine Richardson, who was one of the 2, 3 guys to not get ousted from David Stearns and their whole, laying off saga, to not have this guy come back after 2 years of serious success with players at first base stealing second. I mean, this is unbelievable to me. And I really think David Stearns needs to figure out what he's got to do. And I really think he should try to bring this guy back. And if he doesn't, the search is on for a first base coach. But I don't know if the person that comes in will fill Antoine Richardson's shoes that well and kind of make the Antoine Richardson departure less and less hurtful. But yeah, David Stearns has some work in front of him, and he's got to see what he needs to do. But anything other than that, that's really it for the Mets. Again, just like the Yankees, can't really do much. We talked about potential Tarek Skubal trade last week, maybe people that they could get. It will be an important and busy winter offseason for more the Mets than the Yankees, but the Yankees have some work to do also. We talked about Cody Bellinger potentially maybe coming back this upcoming offseason, but only time will tell on that. So that's really the MLB. Not really much to say on that. Yankees waiting for the World Series to be over. Mets trying to fill all of their coaching staff positions. So now moving on to Take a Seat, Let's Bet. So Dom is going to give his DraftKings bets for tomorrow night's football game, which is Ravens at Dolphins, and then the Giants game this upcoming Sunday. So go ahead, Dom, with your bets.
So for Giants are going up against San Francisco, and I'm gonna go say 2 touchdowns for Tyrone Tracy.
Hmm.
I'm gonna go 2 touchdowns for Tyrone Tracy plus 550, and then we also have on Thursday we have Baltimore against Miami, and I am picking anytime touchdown scores from Zay Flowers and Lamar Jackson, who's going to rush in a touchdown. And it's plus 525.
Hmm.
With the Giants, they have a really good defense in San Fran, even though Bosa is not playing. But other than that, they have great defenders on that team. And I think it's going to be a hard game for Jackson Dart. I think it's going to be hard. I think that he will run a lot. I think it's going to be a run-heavy offense that they're going to do on Sunday. And I think Tyrone Tracy, he can rush in to a goal line touchdown, or he can even catch a pass for a touchdown. So I think that's what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously with hopefully Lamar Jackson returning, we got to hope that he is coming back because they have him under all the betting and everything. But hopefully, if he does not, then the bet will be voided if he's not playing.
Mhm,
But as of right now, that's what I have.
mhm,
Lamar Jackson, 1 rushing touchdown, and Zay Flowers, anytime touchdown.
mhm. Okay. So I think the who did you say was going to have 2 rushing touchdowns against the Ravens?
No, against the 49ers,
Oh, I'm sorry. It was the 49ers. Yes.
Tyrone Tracy.
Tyrone Tracy. Yeah. Rushing defense for the Niners is 15th. So, yeah, that's possible. So that's a solid bet. All the other ones are good too because the bets that I'm giving here, Jalen Waddle, anytime touchdown, that's plus 145. This is FanDuel, of course. Dom does DraftKings. And so the Ravens passing defense is just not, I mean, their defense as a whole isn't good, but their passing defense is 28th. Okay. Derrick Henry, though, is going to be 2+ TDs. That's plus 240. The Dolphins rushing defense is also not very good. They are sitting at 28th. Lamar Jackson, 50 plus rushing yards. That's plus 210. Again, as I said, Dolphins rushing defense not good. 28th out of 32 in the NFL. Tua Tagovailoa, I'm going to say over 1.5 passing TDs. That's plus 114 because, again, the passing defense for the Ravens, not very good. It's 28th in the NFL. Ravens total defense is 28th. Dolphins total defense is 23. So those are the solid bets that I think people should take. Jalen Waddle, anytime touchdown, plus 145. Derrick Henry, 2+ TDs, plus 240. Lamar Jackson, 50 plus rushing yards, plus 210. Tua Tagovailoa, over 1.5 passing TDs, plus 114. So now moving on to take a seat. Let's predict Giants versus Niners. Dom, what do you got and what's your score?
I would do 28-14 49ers. I think they're just. I mean, Mac Jones he's been doing good. I mean, nothing amazing, but he's doing good for holding it down for Brock Purdy. He's unleashing the ball. He's it looks like he's Alabama Mac Jones right now. The way he's throwing the ball, just flinging it down the field, and
Mhm.
we don't have any good corners. So
Mm. Yeah.
I think it's going to be a bad overall game for the Giants. Call me a Debbie Downer, everybody, if you want, but I'm just trying to be real here. So I'll go 28-14 49ers.
Okay. Jets are on a bye, so they can't lose, so that's good.
Thank God.
Um, yep, exactly. Thank God's right. So I don't have to do anything for that. My 1 week off. Lovely. Love that. Don't have to deal with insanity and stupidity. So now, Dom, you can go first. So this week's slate of games for the Knicks. Uh, I had Knicks at Bucks here, but we didn't record yesterday, so scrap that. Knicks obviously lost. I think that was what 121, 111. Dom, tough one.
Yep.
Knicks at Bulls, Friday Cup game on Halloween. Knicks versus Bulls. So Knicks go to Chicago first on Friday, then Bulls come to New York on Sunday. Knicks versus Wizards on Monday. So what do you got for those 3 games this week?
I'm going 3-0.
Mm,
I'm going
really?
3-0. I mean, I know the Bulls they're doing good. They're as of right now first place, but I think we're a good matchup for them when it comes to personnel. And the Wizards are the Wizards, and they're god awful. So that's pretty simple. But I mean, like you said earlier, small sample size. You know, I know the Bulls are first place in the East right now, so but I don't think that would really scare anyone this early in the season. So
Mm, okay.
I mean, we've always had the Bulls number, and I don't really think they gotten like way better. I just think they're off to a hot start.
Well, unfortunately, they had our number last year, Dom. I don't even think we beat the Bulls once last year.
Yeah, because the Knicks they were just a roller coaster last year.
Yeah, because I remember the first game, Bulls came to New York. Josh Hart ruined that foul on Kobe White. It was just very annoying.
Ridiculous.
That was in November last year, and
That
then
was
they
one of the
lost
worst losses of
to
the
them
season.
again the beginning of January. So yeah, the Bulls had the Knicks number last year. I don't think the Knicks won either of those games. I think they only played twice last year. The Knicks lost both of them. So for me, I'm gonna go 2-1. I don't. It's very hard to beat the same team back to back when you play them, twice in 3 days. So I'm gonna say Knicks at Bulls. I'm actually going to say the Knicks lose that one because I don't think the Knicks are a fantastic road team. Just watching them the last two games on the road, they just look, incohesive. They just look out of it, and they don't really gel that much right now. So I'm gonna say they lose the cup game on Friday, and then they win two straight. They beat the Bulls when they come here on Sunday, and then I agree with you. They beat the Wizards when the Wizards come here to New York. And honestly, Dom, that starting this Sunday, Knicks Bulls. That's the start of that long homestand,
Yep.
and that's going to be the start of what? How many games? Because that's going to be five, and then so it's going to be a long homestand. It's going to be like what 6, 7 games. So yeah, it's going to be a long one, and so they really have to try to take advantage as best as they can with a lot of these home games coming up. But again, I'm going to go 2-1 for that 3 game slate for the rest of this week. So that's it for Take a Seat, Let's Predict. Dom, anything to say before I wrap up today's episode?
When I know like Knicks stands right now, they're seeing all the concerns and they are worried. But for the casual fans, I think they were waiting for this homestand to really see how they are. Because for the Garden and like the teams, every single team that comes into the Garden seems like they play their best at MSG. So I'm sure they're thinking, all right, this is how we're gonna tell how the season's gonna go, just off this homestand. But I'm so concerned. We're so very concerned, both of us,
Hmm.
and I just hope that they get better with this system. I hope that we become quicker, as Mike Brown's saying that it's going to take time. Like I was saying that, so we got to hope that they're becoming a more fast paced team and win those fast break battles every game, because that's what seems like how we're going to win games. Because when we lose, we're not winning. We're not winning that. We're not winning that game, and it's a make or miss league. If you like us shooting a lot of threes, if you don't, we still got to make them at the end of the day. So with fast break points and threes, it
Hmm.
seems like what we were talking about before air, that we're trying to be the 2024 Boston Celtics, because that's what they were doing.
Yeah,
Fast break and just shooting the hell out the ball from three.
for sure. And
So
and and I'm glad, Dom, that you said that because that was something I meant to say before. If we're going to be the 2024-25 Boston Celtics, that's not a good recipe because last time I checked, the Celtics got eliminated by yours truly, the Knicks. And games 1 and 2, they shot 25 for 100 behind the arc. So obviously, Mike Brown's scheme, the big three things are sprays. He wants people to get into the paint to then kick it out to the shooters. Any type of 3-point shooting from anywhere on the court if you're open, and Dom said it, fast break points. I mean, the two things that Dom said, threes and fast break points, is what's going to get this team to where they need to be. I mean, that is Mike Brown's system in a nutshell. So they got to make shots. Bottom line.
we'll see how it goes,
See how it
especially
goes.
with this homestand.
Yeah, and it's a 7-game homestand, Dom. It's a long
Yep.
one. Yeah, 7 games starting
Let's
this
do it.
Sunday. So
I'm ready to watch. Let's do it.
yeah, so am I. Well, that's going to do it for us today. Thank you to everyone for tuning in to today's episode of the FTB podcast on either YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. Be sure to like this episode and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you never miss any of our shows. See you folks on Tuesday. Peace.
Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it.